On to part 2 and a gift of a question. Probably the big thing here would be to not spend very long on it because you only need a few sentences. Explain one way in which the nature of punishment changed. It was different from the nature of period in this period. Well, one of the big ones could be in 1500, 1700, the nature of punishment was really that it had to be harsh to try to deter the criminal. For example, capital punishment was a massive feature in things like being hung, drawn and quartered, whereas capital punishment actually ended in the UK in the 1960s and wasn't even a large feature before that point. So that could be a thing about the nature of punishment changing. You could also say, well, 1500, 1700, punishments had to be cheap and quick, which we should remember from our Quizlet, whereas now the country is wealthier, so the nature of punishment can change to be more about reforming the criminal. And so we've got prisons, the now main form of punishment, and things like young people prisons, young offenders institutes, things like that. And so you should be using words like whereas, contrastingly, conversely. Many of you will say, well, there's this type of punishment in 1500 and this type of punishment in 1900. Well, that's not really about the nature of... You'd get marks for it, but the nature of punishment is like talking about the types of punishments, and that's where cheap and quick, more expensive, and about reforming people. That's how the nature changed. It's like the reasoning behind punishment. So it's a trickier question than it might appear at first, but you'll still get marks if you've named different punishments. Moving swiftly on.